Hello and welcome to our top 8 match here from the Arena Cup in Berlin. We're playing with standard format and we have a Night March deck versus...
Yeah, versus a Mega Manectric deck. The Mega Manectric deck is very interesting. It runs huge amount of hitters actually. Like you, beside the Manectric and Mega Manectric, you also have Zapdos from Roaring Skies and Raikou from the new Breakthrough deck, and also you have the Promo Jirachi, which will do some crazy stuff against the Night March deck. The Night March deck also runs Evoltal Nonyax for the mirror match to knock out Pumpkaboo and Joltik, and then you can attach an energy to one of your bench Pokemon, attach another energy from your hand, and then you have the next knockout. So the mirror match is very easy for the Night March version, we will see here. And also we saw a lot of Night March at this tournament, which is most likely the reason why he made it in the top cut with such a good mirror matchup.
Yeah, but we actually saw a lot of lists that had counters against Night March, but we actually have 4 Night March decks in the top 8.
Yeah, it should be 4.
So it's quite many and successful day for Night March. Yeah, both players made it as 3rd and 6th to the top cut.
Yes. So, yeah, I think we can expect an interesting game. Like, Night March is able to one-hit knock out all the Pokemon EX, and Benjamin, the Manectric player, only has 3 non-EX hitter, so Carl, the Night March player, will have good chances. Also, he plays Target Whistle, so there is no way for Benjamin to play without using his Pokemon EX.
Yeah.
So Carl's gameplay will just be Lysander knockout, Lysander knockout, Lysander, good game. So I'm pretty sure this will be his strategy. He also won't care if he pulls down all his shamans. He just needs a very fast setup.
Yeah.
And he mustn't with his double colorless energy card.
So does it matter for Night March if it's Mega Pokemon as enemy, since they have a lot more HP?
Well, they have 30 more HP in this case. It might be a difference, but I'm pretty sure he will only beat up the non-Mega and the Shamans. And he also has Hooper, so the chances of him starting with a non-Mega with a non-EX Pokemon is very low. Yeah, other interesting cards aren't really here. He plays Skyfield and Wrath Seas, both the stadium cards. These stadium cards can get kicked by cards Dimensional Valley, but well, maybe with some kicking stuff he can get rid of his Shamans. If he puts like Raikou, Jirachi, Zapdos on his bench, 2 Manectric, and then he kicks the Skyfield for Wrath Seas, and the Shamans get out to the discard pile, his bench is full, so Carl can't use the Target Whistle as well.
But the Rafsi won't help him much with the healing. We'll probably see a lot of one-hit knockouts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's still hard for Night March to one-hit knock out a Manectric. You need 10 Night Marches in your discard pile plus Muscle Band to deal the 220 damage.
Yeah.
We don't have Silver Bangle anymore, which would have dealt the plus 10 damage you actually need against Mega Manectric. But yeah, we will see what they do in the match.
So the players are doing their setup at the moment and shuffling their decks, and there we hop into the game. We see Carl on the top. He's the Night March player, and Benjamin on the bottom with his Mega Manectric deck.
Yeah, they both have the same sleeves, and we see Carl actually has 2 double colors cards on his starting hand, which is not really what you want, because you have to play Ultra Ball and Sycamore at the beginning of the game, and you cannot just discard all of them. And Benjamin also starts with non-EX Pokemon and with the Promo Jirachi, so the double colorless energy cards now are a super weird card to use for Carl. Yeah, as he plays a Battle Compressor at the beginning, discarding 3 of his Pokemon from the deck, most likely his Lampants, since they aren't able to attack in this deck anyways and are just in the deck to get some extra damage off the Night March. And maybe he discards a supporter card just to get the Versus Seeker option, but that would only make sense if he has a VS Seeker in his hand. And now he picks 2 of his lamp hands. Will we see the 3rd one going into the discard pile? Carl is also checking how many cards he has left in his deck and which cards are prized. Carl doesn't play the town map,
No,
which
I
a
don't.
lot of people do, but there is a huge amount of players that think it's not that necessary, as he actually discards a Joltik, so maybe 2 of his lamp hands are prized, which would be very, very annoying, because you need 4 lamp hands in the discard pile to also don't run out of hitters against most decks.
Well, one was on his hand at least.
One is in the hand.
So he decides to discard the Yveltal, so you don't really have anything to recover energies if Jirachi has some impact. I've seen a few decks playing Milotic today, but Carl doesn't have anything else than the Yveltal to recover energies then.
No, but he had to discard the Yveltal because otherwise he would have discarded one of his double colors energy cards, which he doesn't really want, or one of his Dimensional Valley, which, well, you could have discarded one Dimensional Valley, but I think he doesn't want to waste it. But starting with the Jirachi actually isn't that great because Carl just have to not attach any energy card. So the Jirachi can't do a lot, and then Carl can knock out the Jirachi. So maybe starting with the Raikou would have put Benjamin in a better spot, but also we don't know his hand. Most likely he will try to save his Jirachi for the game. And here we see the one of Roller Skates, which hits heads. Crazy card.
Yeah, so pretty good first turn for Carl. 2 setups for at least 4 cards. The heads on the roller skates. 2 Ultra Worlds already.
And here is the Acrobike. Discarding Shauna. Very interesting that he plays Shauna, but also roller skates. Usually you see people playing Professor Birch. But some people are like, I want more, I want the consistent 5, but then you don't play roller skates in your list. So very interesting card choices here by Carl Peters, who is thinking about what to do. Maybe he thinks about attaching the double colors energy card, which most likely isn't going to happen, and he plays.
No, he picked that from the trainer's mail.
Yeah, he chooses the Acrobike from Trainer Mail.
But now he played
that he just played. Yeah, 9-match deck always have a very, very huge first turn, where you play a lot of item cards.
Sometimes really boring to play against it, and you sit there for almost 5 minutes doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just waiting for his opponent to grind through all his deck.
But 9-match is a cool deck. It's it's not that hard to play, but also if you're a very good player, you can do so much with it. Playing Lysander at the right time, discarding your resources at the right time. As Carl just passes, Benjamin is able to kick. He also gets rid of one of his headringers that won't do a lot. Attaching an energy card and just passing. So now Carl has the option to knock out the Jirachi, which is most likely what he really wants. He has enough 9-match Pokemon in his discard pile to deal 60 damage and knocking out the Jirachi. And now it's a bit unfortunate for Benjamin that he had to sacrifice his Jirachi early on. And also he didn't play any supporter cards, so maybe he just has a bad start. As Carl just grabs another Shaman. He also plays 4 Shaman, which we also saw quite often for 9-match decks, because if one Shaman is prized, and as you just saw, you usually use 3 of them. And with a 4 off, the chance that one is prized is so high, so you max out your Shamans. Also, it's a very good hitter in a lot of situations against other Joltiks, and a lot of Pokemon just have 50 HP, so you attach Muscle Band, Sky Return, and can use setup again. Okay, here we see Stadium and Sycamore. Does he get another basic Pokemon? It doesn't look like he has. And he just forfeits the game since the Joltik is able to knock out the Raikou again next turn. So it's 1-0 for Carl.
5-minute first match.
Yeah, this is normal with Night March.
Yeah, but Well, not really normal that your opponent runs out of basic Pokemon on after
Well,
one knockout.
you donk quite often actually
Yeah.
with every deck. You have the problem that you don't set up properly. Well, let's have a look at Benjamin's consistency. For the first turn, you have 4 Ultra Ball and 4 Sycamore and 1 Giovanni's Scheme that are 9 cards plus 3 Shamans. So 12 cards that you want on your starting hand, or you also have the combination of Battle Compressor and VS Seeker. In my opinion, this is enough consistency for a deck, so he just had a bit bad luck. It's always weird. I remember the times where you had so many supporters in your deck because the supporters didn't give you so many cards like they do at the moment, but we have a trend that they start to make a bit smaller supporters, like Shauna and Professor Oak's new theory is the same card, but one of them gives you 1 less, even though it's released in the later sets. But then you have, on the other hand, Professor Sycamore that gives you 7 new cards, so a bit difference there. The one card gets better, the other a bit worse with the new expansions, but it's very interesting to see the supporter lines of decks. Benjamin has 1 Giovanni Scheme, which we already saw a few times. It's versatile. Like you can say, okay, I deal 20 more damage, which means Mega Manectric deals 130, which is one of the golden numbers in the game because a lot of non-EX basic Pokemon have 120 or 130 HP. But the Manectric only deals 110, so Giovanni can really help there. Also, it can help like Zapdos or Raikou to deal some extra damage. Jirachi won't really need the damage, I guess. Well, like with Muscle Band and Giovanni, you can deal 50 damage. It's still not enough to knock out a Pumpkaboo, but it's enough to knock out a Joltik. So if he is like, I only touch a basic energy card, which isn't going to happen often, I guess, but...
And there we are back in the game, seeing Benjamin starting his turn with a Battle Compressor and starting with Manectric X this time.
Yeah, he starts Manectric X, going for a few supporters in this discard pile. With VS Seeker, it's always good to have options to get the supporter cards you really want in the certain situation. I often discarded just like my one-off Xerosic or my one-off Hexmaniac, just as Benjamin does now, or my AZ. So if I really need it, I have a higher chance of getting it, even though I discarded it early on because I play for VS Seeker.
It's like crazy on Versus Seeker. It's like choose one of the following effects, and when there are like 5 or 6
that's super cool.
supporters listed.
I really love cards that have a lot of effects, a lot of options.
Yeah, that offers you a lot of options.
Yeah. Okay, but this time Benjamin has a good starting hand, having the Spirit Link, an energy card, and Sycamore. And he attached the energy card to the active Manectric, hoping that card isn't able to get Night March for 180 damage, since he can deal 170 damage with this deck. So he also had the Raikou on his hand. Yeah, he just puts it down because there is no Lysander going to happen. Now it's Carl's huge turn.
Yeah.
If he gets the knockout, this game will be very hard for Benjamin to win because all of his Pokemon have retreat cost. So he can't promote something without retreat cost and then Ultra Ball Jirachi knockout. And he discarded already 1 Spirit Link and 1 is active, so he also can't Mega Evolve.
He could get maybe a Mega Evolution, and with Mega Turbo he could be able to attack.
Oh, that's actually true. He has Mega Turbo in his deck, and he also plays 4 Spirit Links, so we might actually see turn 2 Mega Manectric. Yeah, as Carl just gets usual Night March turn 1, Trainer's Mail for Battle Compressor, discarding more of his Lampens, and maybe he also gets some supporters in a sense if he have the VS Seeker on his hand.
So he needs the Dimensional Valley and maybe a Muscle Band and quite a bunch of Nightmare monsters in his discard pile.
Yeah, at the moment he deals 100 damage, so he misses 4 plus 20 spots. So 1 muscle band and 3 night marchers or 4 night marchers. And
the
also he
stadium.
needs the stadium card, but he plays 4 of them, so the chances of him not drawing them are kinda low.
Yeah.
And let's see what card decides to play. Yeah, he plays Ultra Ball, discarding 1 Shaman. Maybe he actually gets another Shaman, or he just gets a Night Marcher and then discard it with the Sycamore. Discarding Shaman is not too bad, because you have so many Shamans anyways. And when the other 2 cards are something he certainly doesn't want to discard, just discard Shaman and some other card, you lose 3 hand cards,
Yeah, but
and then you can
redraw
draw
them.
more cards. And the Shamans aren't that important to have, since he, like I already said, has 4 of them. And now we see the Stadium card, so he only needs a Battle Compressor and Muscle Band to knock out the opponent's Mega Manectric EX.
Only.
Yeah. We see the another Shaman on his hand, and 2 Night Marchers, so an Ultra Ball would be very great for Carl, but since he didn't move yet, I'm pretty certain that he doesn't have it. Oh, he actually goes for the Lysander just to have a safe knockout, rather than risking to whiff
Yeah,
something.
I mean, why not? It's 1 out of 3 needed knockouts.
But it's still only 100 damage, so he needs a Muscle Band or another Night Marcher in the discard pile. And we see that Carl has the double colors in his hand, which he doesn't want to discard. Yeah, here's the Battle Compressor, so at least he gets 2 prize cards by knocking out Shaman. And with Shaman in the discard pile by Benjamin, Carl can just use his target whistle to get another cheap prize on this same Shaman. So his gameplay might just be knockout, target whistle, and then he just needs to, yeah, he can discard every Night March Pokemon, just needs to knock out 1 Mega.
With all the versus
Manectric.
Seeker, so easy to get back the Lysanders, and he's playing 2, so it's technically 6 Lysanders.
Yeah, in theory he could use 6 Lysanders, and also his first turn was very resource friendly. So now we have to keep track of the Night Marchers because it's so.
Seems like
on the
7.
bench. Yeah, there are 7 at the moment.
And 140 damage.
Yeah, enough for Shaman.
Yeah.
Like you only need 6 Night Marchers or 5 with Muscle Band. And now he can Mega Evolve, attach another thing. Mega Turbo, he has very, very good cards at the moment.
Really fast playing now from
Yes.
Benjamin here. He had a lot of time thinking about his turn.
Yes.
While
This is the good thing
Carlos
about
went.
Night March. You can overthink everything. The moment they play the supporter and they're like, oh no, N. Oh, there is no N in standard, haha. Also, Carl doesn't have Judge and he doesn't have Ace Trainer, so you keep your hands the whole game. He goes for Ultra Ball, maybe picking Jirachi, or... he just goes for another Mega Manectric. Now he's streaming his Manectrics. Carl now is a bit depending on his one-off target whistle. He won't be able to one-hit knock out the Manectric, and Benjamin also has AZ, so he can heal his Mega Manectrics, just put it back on the bench. Unfortunately, he loses his Spirit Link, and he only has 1 Spirit Link left, since he just discarded 1 in the very early game. And he also has his Flash Energy card, one of the newest cards. It says you don't have weakness on your Lightning Pokemon, which is always great because fighting Pokemon tend to be very strong.
yeah, and we've seen a lot of them today.
Yeah, that's true.
And with a new Marowak break, even another one streamed into the tournament scene.
Yeah, Mega Manectric without the Flash Energy card doesn't really stand against Marowak break. But unfortunately, the Marowak break isn't on the top cut. Yeah, Carl is struggling to get his knockouts.
So it's 3, 6, 8 Night March Pokemon in Carl's discard
No,
pile.
that's only 160 damage. You still need more.
Yeah.
He has a muscle band and
Yeah.
double colors
So
energy
that would
cards.
be enough to go for a Manectric on the bench.
Oh, battle compressor. Carl has to keep track of his resources, but if he wants to, he can knock out the Manectric. But let's see what he goes for. This is very interesting. Also, it's always hard to see which Pokemon are in your prize cards, because Night March struggles if you prize too many Pokemon with the Night March attack on them.
So he moved the Hexmaniac and the Sycamore.
And do we see another Night March Pokemon hitting his discard pile? It looks like there is no Night March Pokemon in his deck.
Yeah.
So very hard situation for him now. Also, did you see if he discarded his Yveltal?
Yeah, he did in his first
okay.
turn.
Yeah, otherwise he could
Together
like,
with the Shaman.
if he attacks for 180 damage, he could use the 30 from the Yveltal and attach another energy card, or he can use Sky Return to get his back. But with the Yveltal play, you don't. You can set up in Night March Pokemon with 2 basic energy cards, so Jirachi won't be that annoying. Yeah, he just goes for the Lysander onto the other non-mega Manectric, and Carl has 8 Night Marchers plus the Muscle Bands is 180 damage.
So target Whistle and Versus Seeker away from the win.
Yeah, but he only has 1 Shaman left, so it will be kind of hard for him to get all of this set up. As he takes another 2 prize cards, and the thing is, Benjamin also doesn't have Judge or Ace Trainer, so Carl will be hard to stop now.
Yep.
And also, even if he doesn't have the target whistle, Carl can just discard every Night March Pokemon he plays. Then Joltik will be knocked out. Then there are 9 Night March Pokemon, he has 1 in his hand. Then there are 10 with Muscle Band or another Night March Pokemon. That's also enough to knock out the Manectric.
Yep.
So no Jirachi here, which would have been cool. Also no way to attack with the Raikou this turn. But he has a Wrath Seize, so if Carl decides to go full onto the I just knock out Manectric track, he would need another Stadium card as well. And Benjamin just attacks. It looks like he just attacks. But he's asking Carl for his discard pile. Maybe also checking stuff like how many V Seeker does he have left, how many Jirachi does he have left, how many double colorless energy cards, and how many Dimensional Valley. Yes, these are the cards that could win Carl the game now. And as he actually promotes the Shaman, so maybe he will just Sky Return this turn, or he has a Floatstone.
Yeah. So with the damage from Sky Return would be actually enough to one-hit then the Manectric. But since it has free retreat, he can just choose to promote the other Mega Manectric from the bench. Or hope that Carl doesn't have a Lysander, so he could play the 7 prize card game with promoting the Raikou.
Yeah. The problem is Carl only has 2 Muscle Bands, so he would have to draw this a one-off Muscle Band now if he wants to discard, if he wants to knock out the Mega Manectric from Benjamin. I'm pretty certain I saw the Floatstone on Carl's hand. He also has the option to go for a Sky Return and then go YOLO next turn. But Benjamin also could just play Lysander onto the Pumpkaboo, and then Carl would have a problem with his hitters.
Yeah.
Well, no player is moving. Carl is thinking about his turn. I guess he has a very similar thought we have, because it's a hard decision. He has the option to try to win this turn, or he has the option to play it safety. And very interesting that he attached the energy card to his Shaman rather than Pumpkaboo. Maybe he doesn't have a supporter card. This could be the case, since he didn't play anyone yet. Like I saw a bit of his hand. He has a Joltik on his hand, so maybe he tries to fool his opponent a little bit. But now Benjamin has the option to attack with Raikou, which can one-hit knock out the Pumpkaboo and Shaman. So, but only giving one prize card. So it will be very hard for Carl to win the game next turn if he really needs to. Here, as he goes for the Zapdos from Wrong Skies, another cheap attacker. And he takes a prize onto the Pumpkaboo. Now let's see if Carl tricked his opponent and just wanted a new Nightmare Pokemon in his discard pile, or if he really didn't have a lot on his hand.
It should be Night March Pokemon number 10, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that it's the 10th. So 200 damage, still not enough to knock out a Mega Manectric. And Carl is thinking about his actions. Counting with Night Matches again, checking everything twice.
Probably would like to have a Giovanni now.
Yeah. Okay. Here we see Joltik. His 11th Night March Pokemon, and it seems like he plays via Seeker. So that he played via Seeker says there is no Lysander. And also he discarded a Lumpen, so well, let's see what he has. Like he wants Revive, so he could knock out Raikou with Joltik if he gets a double colors energy card, and later still being able to knock out another Manectric.
Yeah.
If he can get.
So it's 11 Pokemons now in his discard pile?
It's pretty sure.
It seemed.
Looked like it was Tails since he doesn't draw any cards.
I thought it was a 6.
Now he has Lysander, Target Whistle, and Ultra Ball in his hand, which won't do a lot since he already played the supporter. He's just hoping
so
that...
if it's the 11 Night March Pokemon, it would be enough to one-hit the Mega Manectric now?
Yes, but he isn't able to play Lysander onto the
and
Mega
he's not
Manectric.
playing any Escape Rope.
Yes. Escape Rope would be very cool in this situation.
Yeah.
Carl just passed, actually. And now, well, Benjamin with a Lysander would be in a good spot.
Yeah, I think there's no point
and he just
knocking out the
Shaman, and he has Lysander, Target Whistle. So he plays Target Whistle on Shaman, and then Lysanders it, knocks it out with Night March, dealing, I'm pretty sure that 440 or something.
Oh, it's even Muscle Band there. So 11, 12, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. So Carl Peters wins this game with Night March against
and that was
Mega
already the second
Manectric.
game, so.
Yeah, just for the audience, he knocked out the Mega Manectric because he is able to do it with 11 Night March Pokemon and the Muscle Band. So
yeah,
intense games, very fast games also.
Yeah.
Well, the
25 minutes for 2 games, even though the first one was a lot faster.
Yeah, the first one took like 5 minutes, and the second one, it didn't took so many turns, but Carl really had to think about, my resources, resource management is something Night March really has to keep track of. And this is the thing the unexperienced Night March players always do wrong. Like, there's a Pokemon, I have to knock it out. And then they just like, set up a Sycamore, set up, here's the energy card, attach, knock out. And then they realize, I don't have any Night Marches left, or they don't have energy cards left.
Yeah, I even saw some running out of cards in their deck.
Yeah, it's funny because some people also have Bumblebee, and we had one player with Houndoom X, which also can discard the deck card. So if you only have 3 or 4 left, your opponent can just like, here you are.
So we have at least 1 out of 4 Night March decks advancing
in the top 4 now. And see you then.
Yeah, see you in the next match.